Hi, Andrew Bell here. What an interesting world we're living in now. How quickly the news coverage has jumped around. The second half of last year saw a huge focus on our drought. The attention then switched to the fires both pre and post Christmas, and then through the incredible rainstorms and the associated flooding of February. And of course now the focus is on the coronavirus. Now, it's a fascinating situation. It's been interesting to see that more than 600,000 people die each year from influenza, and hardly anything is ever mentioned of it. Yet the coronavirus has received so much attention. The media is certainly playing a part in building up the frenzy, but it's a warning to all of us that these types of viruses are probably something that we're going to encounter on a more regular basis moving forward. Scary, isn't it? From a real estate perspective, we are seeing no real signs of the virus having any impact other than the fact that a few more sellers have decided to bring the sale of their property to the market a little earlier than they would have otherwise done. We're still recording incredible buyer demand, and the last week's drop in interest rates will only fuel even greater buyer interest. However, there is an underlying issue that is constantly in play at present: housing construction, which has slumped at its fastest rate in 19 years in the final 3 months of 2019. And the total home building fell 4.6% in that December quarter. It was the sixth straight quarter that housing construction has shrunk. Now, there are two aspects of housing construction. One is that it's a major contributor to economic growth. Now, pleasingly, we saw in figures released just last week that the Australian economy has been building some momentum, with growth rising from 1.8 to 2.2%. This is great news, but one wonders how much more the economy would have grown if housing construction had been stronger. But the real issue of lower housing construction is that we are not building enough properties to meet our population growth. And this is going to continue to put upward pressure on real estate prices, as we will continue with the situation of more buyers than sellers moving forward. Another frustrating situation for buyers is the latest stats that are also showing that people are staying longer in their homes, which means that there are less properties coming on the market for sale of existing stock. Now, 10 years ago, on average, people held their properties for just over 7 years, but that's blown out, and the average tenure now for a property is around 11 years. That just means there is less turnover, so there are less properties on the market all of the time. This situation is unlikely to change anytime soon, and so buyers can expect to be faced for years to come with a smaller selection of properties and the need to move swiftly when they seek properties that they like. It's also going to put a strong floor under the real estate pricing. It's an ever-changing world, but one thing never changes, and that is everyone needs a place to live in. With our rental market here on the Gold Coast currently at record low vacancy, there's a very small selection of properties for people to rent. This is at the exact same time that there's the least amount of properties on the market to buy. I really feel for people and their housing needs at present, whether it's a tenant or a purchaser, because diminishing availability can put enormous stress in satisfying anyone's housing needs. If you have a rental property, there is no one better to look after that than us. I want to congratulate our residential property management team, who were recently recognised by ALO, which is a purpose-built customer feedback platform for property management, where customer satisfaction was at the highest level for our company, and we're awarded as the leader for the December quarter just passed. I couldn't be more proud of our team. Now, there is just over 2 weeks to go until our Great Business Meets Sport luncheon, and we're going to announce a couple of our speakers. Has been Jeff Wilson, who's the Polar Explorer, amazing gentleman, Pete Evans, internationally renowned chef, and Ali Day, the world Ironman champion. Details are on screen how to purchase seats for you and your friends or a corporate table. Now, make sure you have a look at this week at Chevron One, a fantastic development on Chevron Island that is undoubtedly in pole position on the island, and upon completion will be the pick of residential living on that northeast corner. Well, that's it for this fortnight. Let's really support one another in these constantly changing, volatile times that we live in. And no more fighting in the supermarket aisles, hey?